Tonight on Crime Fighters, North Yorkshire's high-tech battle against the burglar.
The intelligence from West Yorkshire is it's used by a known burglar. Over.
Don't swear at me again.
You're under arrest for Section 5 public order, mate.
Take the smile off your face, 'cause it's not funny.
Harrogate, an affluent town in North Yorkshire where the average house costs £250,000. It sits in what is known as the Golden Triangle, the most sought-after area to live in Yorkshire, with more millionaires than anywhere outside London. A nice lifestyle for some, but rich pickings for the discerning burglar. Nearly half of all burglaries here are carried out by criminals travelling from neighbouring cities like Bradford and Leeds.
It's because of its close proximity to such a large urban area and a road network system that allows people to get into our area very quickly and get back very quickly. We have suffered from people crossing those borders and coming into our area to commit burglaries. It's something that's happened before, but it's becoming more prevalent. Because of that, our intelligence systems have improved to pinpoint who's coming in, exactly who they are, what vehicles they've got, what time they're travelling, and we've put in place a raft of measures to counter that.
Last night, this family became the latest burglary victims. DC Andy Eaton is here to find out what happened.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. What sort of times between did they come in?
My wife left at home about 6:15, and I got home about 5 past.
Okay, so a short space of about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and the house was totally unoccupied.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just give me what's actually missing?
Well, Christmas presents is probably the
worst thing for now.
The worst thing at this point of time, if you like.
Okay.
There's an amount of jewellery, camera, laptop, computer.
My handbag, or something.
And quite a bit of cash, unfortunately. But,
we don't normally have cash at all, but with Christmas we'd had
of course
some cash for going out, and that's gone.
Okay. What I'll do is I will compile a full list of property, and that goes on a crime report, okay, which is goes onto our national computer database, and that will get circulated as stolen property. This area in recent weeks, with the run up to Christmas, with the dark nights, etc., we have had a few burglaries on the south side of Harrogate. Has anything come to your notice, anything suspicious over the past few weeks at all?
As I was leaving, there was somebody had pulled up outside, but I was in a rush to go. I saw the car. They looked absolutely fine.
Okay.
Nobody looks like a burglar, do they? But people looked absolutely fine.
Okay, can you describe the vehicle to me?
It was a burgundy Cavalier type car.
Was it new or was it old or?
I didn't particularly take any notice. I knew it wasn't a car I recognised, and it wasn't people I recognised, but it wasn't a terribly old car. No.
Okay.
There was a driver, and then there's somebody in the passenger seat, and they were the people. That was the person that got out.
Would you recognise any of these people again?
No, I don't think I would.
Having burglars in your house is very traumatic. It's very intrusive. I think it's fair to say, even in this day and age, people treat their home as their castle, and so it's a real trauma for them when people come in and break into their property and take things from them. Quite apart from the things that have been taken, people often feel very unsettled afterwards. It takes them a long time to get over the fact that people they don't know and haven't invited into their homes have been in there.
Poor kids are thinking every little noise was, Yasmin, she's getting to where you would expect she can spend some time by herself. And she said this morning specifically, she said, I'm not going to be on my own. And so it's hurt them as well, really. And they were horrified last night coming back, weren't they? They were absolutely horrified. Yeah. It really upset them. This morning I've been round and just cleaned everything. I just wanted to clean everything to just get rid of them. Just wanted to clean the whole house.
The property from this burglary will be inputted onto the database. From that we can then check through any offenders that we stop, any house searches that we do, whether the property within that house has come from this burglary or any other burglary in the area. She's given us a description of a Vauxhall Cavalier. We can search our Police National computer for any similar vehicles and also check on intelligence systems to see if any of our travelling criminals, certainly from the West Yorkshire area, are using those specific cars, and if they are, we can then target them.
Last year, £5 million worth of property was stolen from homes in North Yorkshire. The majority hasn't been seen since. But anything that is found or recovered locally is taken to Harrogate Station's property office, where Liz Jones is in charge.
This is assorted jewellery that's been handed in. Came in as one lot, and there's various bits and pieces, and there's an engraved brooch in there, which is why we've kept it, because one day somebody will actually know or recognise it, and hopefully we'll be able to get it back to the owners. I think this is something that somebody's obviously just stolen and then seen it's very identifiable and binned it. But we get so much, we get all sorts. We've got a silver trophy that's dated about 1960, I believe, or 1940, and that's been handed in. We've had that a while, but someday, one day will recognise that and claim it. But I'm just reluctant to get rid of these items because they're very personal to somebody. You tend to find a lot of handbags without purses. They'll take the purses and then just chuck the handbags away. And not so much cards, if there's money or jewellery that they're more interested in. We do try and get property back to owners various ways. Recently this year, in August, we started on a Bumblebee website, which is basically we can put photographs of these items. If people do log on, they will see this jewellery on the site. If they recognise any of the items on there, please give us a ring. If I'd lost stuff that we get handed in, I'd be devastated. You do find a lot of people, like phones and keys, a lot of people just don't think of phoning the police or ringing, inquiring, or even going onto the website and making an entry on there themselves, because we check the website. If people put an entry on there, say they've lost this property, we check that anyway, and then we check through our computers. So it is underused at the moment, but I think in time, when people get to know about it, it'll be used a bit more.
Police are called to this house, where a burglar has just been disturbed.
He smashed the window, reached in, unhooked the door.
It looks that way. They're not sure if he's actually got it.
And there's nothing taken.
They're not sure yet. We haven't had a full chance to speak to them.
Is that already cracked? This one?
I'll have to check with her.
Oh yeah, it does lock. So if you just check whether.
This is just a witness statement. This is just I'm just going to write down what you've seen and a description of who you've seen, and then my colleague will speak to the owner of the house to get a complainant statement. So can you offer any description of the chap that's just tried to attempt to burgle this house?
Yeah, it was about 20 to 30, I'd say. It was sort of medium build, height probably about 5'6".
As PC Justin Booth takes a witness statement, crime scene investigator Matt Holland examines the smashed door.
Obviously that's the point of entry. They've either used an implement or using a stone or something have smashed the little pane next to the door latch just so they can reach through, flip the door latch open, open that top section, walk in, they've come straight through here, gone straight into the living room. There's about £100 in cash that's missing from 2 bags. I'm going to obviously fingerprint the outside and round where they've smashed the window and the inside of the door to see if he's left any fingerprints there that obviously might help us identify him or tie him back. It's magnetoflake, basically it sticks to or adheres to the water and sweat that fingerprints are made up of. And just looking around the door, obviously you can see there's some form of implement mark there, possibly a screwdriver.
Just heard a smash in the back window.
Right.
And somebody entered the house and I just heard him downstairs. So I just got up and opened the door, and that's when I'd sort of seen him scatter off through the back door.
And you're on your way down?
I didn't actually come downstairs.
You didn't come down?
I was scared to come downstairs.
No, that's understandable, yeah.
Just phoned the police and saw
Right.
him go out the back.
You saw him through the upstairs back window,
Yeah.
did you? Right.
Yeah.
And did you see which way you went?
Just straight up through the back.
You can see where the powder stuck all the way through, around that and around there and around there. That would imply either gloves or somebody using their elbow, material off something such as a top to push the glass out, which would be consistent. I mean, you're not going to push it through with your fingers because you're going to cut all your hand. You're going to knock it out with your elbow. There's a little mark there as well that you can see where they've just tried to jemmy the door open. There's little bits of patterns that you can see from parts of his trainers where he's stood there and there. It's not very good because unfortunately the mud isn't very thick, and we'll have a look at them to see if we can recover any of it or identify a pattern. If they get hold of any suspects, then we can obviously have a look at their footwear and see if they can match the footwear up that they've got on their shoes to the footwear that's been left at this door. Obviously then link them to standing at this door, which with it being an enclosed garden they should have had no right to do.
Police in the area have been conducting an area search, and they've been able to see a male who is known to the police cycle around who fits the description that the ladies have been able to offer. So inquiries are going to continue down that lines. He will possibly be arrested for the offence, and then it could go to an identity parade where the witness will be asked to attend our ID suite in York and see if she can identify this male. But she says she will be able to recognise him again. So, it's looking quite positive. We may be able to catch the offender for this particular attempt burglary.
There have been numerous offences of burglary in the Harrogate district, specifically the southern side of Harrogate. The majority of offenders are travelling from West Yorkshire to commit these offences. The operation is using the ANPR technology fitted in one of the road policing group cars. On top of that, there will be 2 marked units that will operate on the south side of Harrogate. We've got the area of Burnbridge, which is one of the main hotspots. If there's any prisoners that are arrested as a result of the operation, if you request transport via Harrogate Ops 1, we'll get a town unit to come and collect those.
Sergeant Richard Hannibal is leading Harrogate's strike team on a special operation to catch burglars and other offenders coming into town. He's using the latest in-car technology called ANPR, which automatically reads the number plates of every passing car and within seconds tells the police if it's stolen, untaxed or uninsured. But more importantly for tonight, it can even say if a car has been used by a known burglar.
Because the area is very rural in nature, it means that a committed criminal who knows the area can quite comfortably navigate their way around, sometimes without touching any of the main roads. So by using the number plate reading machine, which can read thousands of cars an hour, it's enabled us to essentially, over the same period last year, reduce the number of house burglaries by 66%. What we're doing now is just putting the vehicle into position by the side of the road so that it can read the number plates of the vehicles as they come off the roundabout heading into Harrogate.
Half a mile further on, PC's Tim Craven and Nicky Wareham are waiting in one of the 2 intercept cars. They'll stop vehicles that trigger the camera after passing the sergeant's car.
The car's fitted with 4 cameras. It has a camera at the front which can be used to record in real-time events as they occur. And on the rear of the vehicle there are 2 colour cameras, but most effective at this time of night would be the infrared camera that we're using currently, which automatically captures a snapshot of number plates as they pass the vehicle. Then, using the computer that's in the vehicle, automatically checks that against 28 databases in relation to intelligence. Anything that hits or anything that comes back as triggering one of those databases, a box will appear in yellow, detailing exactly what the information or the intelligence is. In fact, there's a vehicle approaching now, and what will happen, it will capture the vehicle's details immediately there, reading it. 13, 27, 14, 57.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the marker relates to the front and rear registration plates were removed from the vehicle at Oakwood in Leeds.
Yes, that's received. We're
2 vehicles behind, just approaching the bottom of Almsford Bankover. It's purely a case of stopping the vehicle, checking the registration number plates against the chassis number of the vehicle to ensure that everything matches up and everything's in order, both in relation to the car and the driver. Okay. Have you had this vehicle long?
About 2 years.
Did you have the number plate stolen from it?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
I did.
Right, okay. That's what we just want to check out with the car, really, because it's still shown on the police national computer as that with that information that the number plates were stolen from this particular car, or from a car with these number plates on. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Will you mind just turning the engine off and just popping the bonnet for us, please?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Is it? Oh, sorry, it's at that end, isn't it, on the Renaults, yeah? Can I ask you just to stand on the pavement so you don't get run over? Thanks very much. Yeah, that's received. That checks out on the vehicle. All in order. Over. The chassis number on your vehicle obviously matches the registration numbers with the information that we have on the police national computer, so there's no problems.
So they haven't cropped up anywhere else?
It would appear not as yet, I'm afraid, no. All right, well, that's okay, everything's in order.
All right, then.
All right. Okay, thanks very much, thank you. Our intelligence suggests that the cars that are coming over from the West Yorkshire area are of the type of car that we've just seen, and given that it's in the area that's been recently hit by burglars, it's certainly worth stopping and checking out the occupants to see who they are.
North Yorkshire was one of the first forces to use ANPR, and in the first year it helped the region's police seize over £300,000 worth of property and drugs and arrest 258 motorists. It's been so successful that the equipment is being rolled out across the UK this autumn.
North Yorkshire Police have been using ANPR equipment for approximately 2 years, and it's now a piece of equipment that the force is taking very seriously. It's invaluable really for this kind of work because of the vast amount of intelligence that the system can use. It says in the corner we've got 434 cars that it's come through and read, of which we've had 27 hits through various databases. Even the best police officer in the world can only retain so much information in their head, and can only respond to sort of snippets of intelligence they have.
Stolen vehicle, Operation Hanoi. It's stolen between 12:15 and 6:30 today. A blue Toyota Corolla, stolen by means of Operation Hanoi.
Yeah, I've monitored and added it to the database should it drive by over. We've received information through our main control room that at about 12 o'clock today, a blue Toyota Corolla has been stolen from Harrogate by way of a burglary where the keys have been stolen, which is obviously the specific reason why we're on the operation today. So what I've done is I've manually entered that onto the ANPR database so that if it were to drive past us, it would automatically show up as a stolen vehicle, and we would be in a position that we could obviously stop that vehicle and arrest the offenders. But the other thing we will do is contact our local force, West Yorkshire, and inform them that we've had the burglary, and make sure that they have the details to hand so that obviously their patrols will be looking for it as well.
The intercept car is off to stop the car ahead after a rare case of ANPR failing to read the number plate.
This guy looked like he had an illegal number plate on the front, like Tally Crichton.
The ANPR wouldn't recognise that, because they have to be obviously, the proper standard for it to be.
Is there any reason why you've got that style of number plate on the front of your car?
I've just been meaning to change it, but I know that it's a bit of a bollock. You have to take all your, your information, don't you, to the.
That's right.
Make them up and everything.
That's right.
I've just been meaning to get round to it, that's all.
It carries a fixed penalty notice of £30. Right, okay. So there's no points on your licence with that. Right. So I'm going to issue you with one of those. All right, you've got 28 days to pay the fine. Yeah. Right, as long as you do pay the fine, then that's the end of the matter.
30 days?
Yeah,
oh, no,
28 days.
Yeah,
it's a £30 fine.
As far as your details then, do you have any documents with you?
No.
Right.
Apart from this.
It's come past the NPR car. And that's reading the front of vehicles, the number plates on the front of vehicles. Well, it's not been able to read that one because it's illegal and the way it's been written. So, that's how we've picked it up initially. But he's obviously come past and we've seen it. So, give him a fixed penalty notice of £30, and at the end of the day, that'll hopefully be a reminder to him to get it sorted. And if he continues to reoffend with it, well, he'll end up in court.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Good
See you later.
What we want to do is get vehicles before they can commit offences on our area, rather than wait for offences to be committed. By checking them as they come into the area, so we can look at the intelligence that we hold on them and then hopefully stop offences being committed. So we're here as a deterrent, and we're here to obviously prevent those offences taking place. 1368, we have a West Yorkshire intel marker on a black Ford Mondeo. I'll just get the details up. The intelligence from West Yorkshire is it's used by a known burglar. Over. One of our units has gone after this vehicle in an attempt to stop it, verify who's driving it, and if it's the same chap. Obviously ask some questions as to why he's in our force area, and if necessary, if there are valid grounds, he'll search the vehicle looking for any implements in relation to the course of burglary.
PCs Craven and Wareham arrive at the stopped vehicle to assist their colleagues.
I think there's 3 occupants from the radio transmission, so we want, you know, a few of us here really to enable us to conduct a thorough search. Has my colleague gone through, obviously, why we're conducting a search? Yeah, is that right? Okay. In addition to the vehicle, we're going to conduct a search on each of you as well.
Yeah. STER.
Right.
Have you done them, Tony, or not? Right, what I want to do here is just check that the registration plate ties in with the chassis number and engine number on the car, just to check that the car's legitimate, basically.
We've got a screwdriver in the car.
Hang on, mate. There you go. Right. It's registered to a keeper from Bradford. They're in Harrogate, and they haven't really been able to give us a good explanation as to the reason why they're in Harrogate. Just out for a drive, you know, which does make us suspicious, especially with the current intelligence on the vehicle as to what it's doing in Harrogate, you know, in the hours of darkness, really. You know, a really good sort of stop in relation to the operation that we're running, and it's exactly this sort of car with this sort of intelligence on it that we're looking to stop for them exact reasons.
The men are searched and sent back out of town. What their intentions were, police will never know, but there were no burglaries in Harrogate that night.